our best resource to each other. You know, like it's like having people that are your homies that can give you insight, and it's like obviously you're not gonna feel slighted if I'm like, okay, I'll think about that and maybe I'll implement some of that, maybe I won't, but like it's all still just part of the war chest. You know, it's all it all goes in there. Anyway, with that being said, if we're live right here.
And welcome.
We have a one-of-a-kind guest. Don't sleep on my man Boxguts right out here. What up, my man? Bless up, bless up. You like that? How like as soon as I start recording, I'm like, yo, and now here we go. It's like I just did a line of meth or something. I promise I've never even seen meth, but anyway. I've seen Method Man, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Boxguts. Welcome to the Golden Hour. Yes.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Fuck yeah, brother. As always, shout out Shaun, the man behind the scenes that does more than any of y'all will ever know. I don't know, it's kind of corny, but like, hit the like, subscribe if you haven't, just because otherwise you're a hater, and why the fuck you watching this if you're a hater? So, I mean, whatever, don't if you don't want to. Fuck it. But on the real, I'm a big fan of you, and we're like, you know, knew each other ish in passing, but the last whatever year or two ish, like getting more down and shared some stages, ciphers, all that. And if I had to say like your style, like I'm gonna go into like, and here's what Trav thinks. It doesn't seem like it should translate to live. Like you are just packing in so hard with like the content and the schemes and all that, but then you see you live and you're a fucking beast, bro. Like you're able to execute it in a way that like it would be obnoxious for most people to try to do the way that you do studio shit. So props to you, my man.
Thank you much, man. Yeah. Thank you.
So we were just talking, I don't know how much of it they got before, but you've been rapping just about around the same time as me. We started fucking mid-90s-ish, you know, dabbling, and then, yeah, a little bit later into the 90s, starting to really kind of hone in on it, and here we are, some young lads, young lads still doing our thing, so, you know,
cheers to that.
You know what I mean? It's, we're not old as fuck, but we're never not young, you know what I mean? We're like...
Yeah.
What do they call that? Oh, we in our prime.
That's right.
We in our prime. We out here. So yeah, I mean, and again, the way this show flows, it's like talk about what you want to talk about. I'll ramble, bounce all the fuck over. But you want to tell it for heads that don't know you, like I don't know, a little bit about your path.
Well, shit. I'm here in Vermont now. I met you and Shaun, I think probably within the last year. I didn't start showing my face until maybe February 2023. I moved here in 2019, November. And I moved here from Brooklyn, where I was living for the last 15 years.
Okay.
And I'd been coming up to Vermont for maybe like 8 years prior to moving here. I had a homie who I went to college with. We didn't really know each other in school, but I knew his work. And we had a mutual professor, and I told the professor I was thinking about moving to New York, and he was like, "Oh, you should link with this dude. His name's Matt Morris." He's like,
okay.
"Link up with Matt Morris. He's in Brooklyn. You know, his art and what." We linked up and we hit it off right away.
Sick.
So homie and I, got tight, and then he moved out to Vermont and was like, "You gotta check this place out."
Yep.
As soon as I came up here, I was like, "Yo!" I was like, "This place is fucking
yeah.
dope."
What was it that like drew you besides his word? Just like what did you like about it?
For me, the drive, leaving the city, because I'm into nature. I grew up going to Montana, Canada, and a lot of just family vacations were oriented in nature. So I already had a fondness for that, and I was always leaving the city to be more in nature. And as I think the first time I drove was like right around the time that there was like foliage change and shit like that, and so I'm like driving and blowing it down and just open down this drive. Then I get out here and homie starts introducing me to the brew, And I like to drinking, you know, but the beer is on a whole other level out here.
Totally.
And I think around that time, it just like Heady Topper had just come out. And that was like the first time I tried.
And that was like the whole big jam because you could only get so much of it at a time. And
yes. And I would try and bring some back to New York or whatever. And then the Bud, you know, and he had spots for me to paint. I would go and paint under the Winooski Bridge. And I just, every time I came up, I had a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And I wanted to stay longer each time. And it started from like coming up once a year to like 2 times a year. And
you're like, I can actually breathe air.
so,
yeah.
Long story short, you know, I'd been living in basements for like 15 years and just making music but saving and always kind of planning for some type of move.
Yeah.
And then my wife had gotten pregnant and we were like,
Atta
okay, you know, I'm either raising this kid in a basement or, which wasn't really an option, but I was basically like, okay, let me step outside of this basement thing and try and find a place. And then I'm starting to look around in Brooklyn and Staten Island because I was working as a property manager for a small real estate company. So I could like get the inside on some like really kind of cheaper houses. There was still not much. And so it was like, okay, maybe I'll go upstate New York. And then we went to Vermont like week after or something.
Which is like upstate New York 2.0.
Yeah. And, you know, so it's
I ain't hating on y'all, but like, come on.
Nah, you know, I mean, I can't even say much about upstate New York.
It's
like,
beautiful too, though. It really is.
But basically, like, we weighed pros and cons.
Yeah.
At the time, Vermont was just like, let's go to Vermont. And so moved up here and been fucking loving it.
So what I always tell people is like, it's real easy to meet like-minded people in Vermont. And I think, you know, obviously point in case, us collabing, but on the flip side, like, you can just fucking blow it and get canceled right quick because it's like, you know, it's like all the same shit. Like, this is the same fucking people, so, you know, so.
Yeah, word spreads fast.
Feel me? And so for all the reasons that it's still, all the reasons like mind your P's and Q's type shit, you know?
I understood. I was like, see, where I live now, off a dirt road, in the middle of the woods, but I'm like, the woods have ears.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, your closest neighbor might be 3 miles away, but they still, like, they up on it. They know, like, they know what's good. They know, like, what cars you're driving. They, you know, like.
And all the neighbors would come yip-yapping to us about, telling us about how this neighbor moves and how that neighbor moves, and we're like.
You're like, all right.
Yeah. Don't say shit to anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't.
You find out where the sewing circles are.
Yeah. I'm not, easy for trusting either. I try and treat people with kindness, so I think sometimes they see that and they think like, or that I trust them. But I don't fucking trust nobody, man. You know what I mean?
Well, it's better to you know, to take that approach. I think it's like you gotta earn that shit. It doesn't mean you can't be open minded. You know, it's like I always say clean slate unless somebody I love and care about either, you know, tells me like, fucks with this person or like, no, fuck out of here with this person. It's like, if I don't know you from Paul, like, it's open, it's clean slate. You know what I mean? Either give me a reason to give a shit or give me a reason to not give a shit or just like live your life. Like, you know what I mean?
Like it's all good till it isn't.
Yeah, facts. So, you like moved around a lot even prior to living in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. I was born in Detroit, and then my dad was working in television, and he moved the family, which was just my mom and I and him, to Pittsburgh, and then we moved to Minneapolis, and then my sister was born. We lived in Minneapolis till I was maybe like 8, and then we moved to Atlanta, and I lived in Atlanta through my first year of high school, and then moved to Orlando. And then in Orlando, I finished high school and then went to college in Sarasota, Florida, which was like just a couple hours south.
I got some homies out that way.
Sarasota's cool.
Homies. Yeah. Shout out Jimmy Landon and squad. So was it like Florida or Atlanta? Where were you like kind of, you know, it's always hard to target, but where would you say you like found the passion for, you know, like graph and hip hop and all that?
Atlanta really, because I got put onto it at around that age was maybe like, I mean, around 11 and 12, I'm starting to notice it.
Yep.
But then, like, by, like, maybe end of 12 to being 13, I was getting into graffiti, and then I'm listening to so much rap, so I can't help myself but coming up with stuff and freestyling.
All that,
And then, like, I think probably towards right when I started to move from Atlanta to Orlando, I was rhyming with kids at lunch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My freshman year in high school.
Yo mama battles or what?
Those type of things. But those were going on. That was always going on for me too because I was new all the time. So my disc game was just mental.
I can relate.
You know what I mean?
I never went to the same school for 2 full years until like after fucking like college shit. Yeah. So
and, you know, I was mad, so I hated kids. So I could say the meanest shit ever. You know what I mean? I love being able to tap into that stuff.
Also, like, you're someone, like, you're in a rare position where you can fully relate to, like, what I'm, like, my upbringing in that, like, we were fucking white kids rapping.
Wasn't
before
cool.
Eminem, bro.
Yeah, wasn't
like,
cool.
I'm not saying before Eminem rapped, but before anyone ever knew him, you know, like, it was beyond not cool. It was like you had to fight often, you know what I mean,
Absolutely.
or whatever. Like you were getting fucked with, like on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
People didn't understand. A lot of people don't understand. You did have to kind of earn it.
Yeah. Oh,
you
facts.
Had to earn it.
Oh, big facts. And like, especially for me, like coming up, you know, obviously it's pre-internet or any of that shit. Like a lot of it was like just like basement parties and like battling like on the park at the bus stop or like at lunch or you know whatever. And that was like a big part of it coming up. So like more of the story is probably don't challenge either of us to a battle.
Word the fuck up.
Like,
don't be stupid. Yeah. Don't be stupid.
I mean, I'm gonna see you raw deaf, and that's gonna be fun. But shout out to all those homies. But yeah, so like you just came up with the odds stacked against you, so to speak, when it comes to like being embraced for those things. You know, nowadays every fucking commercial's got hip hop music. You go to an NBA game, it's not all of the rock and roll. You know, it's hip hop, and you see whatever a Mountain Dew commercial, whatever, and there's gonna be someone doing like graffiti and like skate and all that. But like that was not cool. And so,
right.
And so for you to have like persisted through all of it, and I think that's a big part of the reason we clicked.
Yeah.
Pretty instantly off the rip, because it's like
you can sense that kind of thing off each other. Exactly. We magnetize each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could feel the first time I met you. Like I kind of sensed we were around the same age, probably around the same amount of experience. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't have 57 albums. We'll get into that, but yeah, totally. And it's also, I mean, real recognize real. You know, it is what it is. And sometimes it would have taken us to like not like each other at first to be tight, right? Because like I got some good homies that like we just didn't fuck with each other at first, but then like you're like, all right, this motherfucker's here to stay. I'm here to stay. And actually, I think the reason we didn't get along is because we're probably so fucking similar at first. You know what I mean? But yeah, we didn't have any of that shit. So that's yeah. So for people who don't know, you're a ridiculous visual or whatever. You do all types of different mediums artistically. Talk a little bit about, if you will, like how you, like what inspired and how that all came about.
So art for me is like kind of art, music, visual, audio just grabbed me right away as a kid. I would have my dad draw owls or whatever he could draw, right? It'd be like funny little race car. He's not an artist, right? Okay. Like he would sketch something up for me.
Not a great artist, you mean?
Yeah, he's an artist in his own right. Yeah. But drawing wasn't the path he took. But he could do something for me if I asked, right? Yeah. I would try and copy his stuff. And then, you know, I just kept doing it and getting more into it. See a comic character, try and copy the comic character. So you're building all this stuff by just kind of copying, right? Yeah. And then just all of a sudden you expand out from it and start, like, I don't know, taking in inspiration from life and stuff like that. Like beautiful trees. Tracing. And exactly. You move way away from that, the more into it you get, right? Yeah. And so I was super into drawing. And then as soon as I started to notice graffiti, I was like, I like that, because I was into skateboarding. So it was in all, remember I used to be in all the skate mags, like advertisements for skate shops and stuff like that. And so just the art alone was getting me. And there was a bridge that was nearby where I was living in Atlanta. So I started kind of like messing around with spray paint, you know. I mean, messing around too, like spraying it with fucking fire in front, blow torching friends' eyebrows off, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, but just being a menace and like making probably fucking really shitty stuff in the beginning, because that's
for a long time.
And that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, yo, you gotta suck before you can be good.
Toy Central.
Like, straight
yeah,
up.
you don't know what you're doing. You watch a graffiti video and then go grab your dad's spray paint and be trying to get all crazy with it. It takes
God.
years to develop,
You know,
man.
let me take this opportunity to apologize to anyone whose fucking property or belongings I fucking thought I was doing something neat on back then, allegedly.
Oh, man.
I beat all those charges. But anyway, but yeah, and you know what you call someone who was never a toy? A liar.
Right.
You're a liar. Like,
Right.
You know, either that or a fucking anomaly, but like more so liars.
Yeah. So it took me a while to develop, but what was good is because I was interested in so many different kinds of art. And in high school, I was so into graffiti, but I was being challenged to do other things in my art class. And I was wanting to do comics when I was younger, so I started kind of mixing the two. And then when I found out there's college you can go to do art, at that point I didn't know what a career I was gonna. I couldn't pay attention in school. I was always drawing on everything, writing my rhymes, whatever, you know what I mean. And so
You can pay attention, just not to what they wanted you to pay attention to.
Yeah, and I was like, art school. So I went for illustration. And
Where? At which school?
At Ringling School of Art and Design. It was called then. I think it's Ringling College. I don't really know the name of it now. But it was...
And where was that?
That was in Sarasota, Florida.
Sick.
Yeah, it was really dope because I went with a really good friend from high school. He had moved in with me in high school, and then we were roommates the first year. So I had like a little cheat, you know, because I already had a homie with me.
Yeah.
And he used to break dance and do graffiti, so we just kind of like always on that tip. And then I met an MC the first day while I was in college.
Sick.
And we formed the group Box Reb. That's where the box and Boxguts comes from.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that dude and I, we were just like spitting rhymes at each other all through school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it takes that. Like, you know, like you can only go so far without having the squad, the homie, like someone too, where it's like, you know, you didn't see him for a couple of days and now he's got like this new little jam. You're like showing you something he did. You're like, oh, what? Yeah, like lights have fire for you for sure.
Big time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have that in high school. Like, there was dudes that I rhymed with, but I wasn't so into it to where I was, like, wanting to link with someone to make music.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, like, see each other, like, oh, yeah, this dude raps, too. You know, it's just freestyling. It's showing off your shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, this girl's here. Yeah, totally. For me, the way, like, a big part of how it came up was just, like, parties. Like, you know, there'd be, like, you know, the end of a song and there's the instrumental and you just try to fuck around for a second or, like, whatever. Someone's being a fool, so you're like, you know, look at this dumbass over here, like, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, on some show-off shit, because, like, I mean, don't get it twisted. Hip-hop's always been, like, you know, I'm better than you type shit. Even,
Bravado,
you know, like straight up. And, like, even on the humble tip, if that makes sense. You feel me? Like if you don't think you're for rocking hard, like you better at least fucking put on like you are. Otherwise, you know, like
you're not gonna convince anybody else. If you can't convince yourself, you're not gonna convince anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Reminds me of that Immortal Technique shit where he's like, take it back the golden age, whack motherfuckers used to get booed off stage. And it's like, it's necessary.
Absolutely.
It's necessary.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you get booed off stage and that doesn't make you come back harder,
it's not for you.
You get weeded out. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good. Then you find what you love and you go do that.
Not everyone's gonna make it or cut out for it, or you know, it's like people with skating, because you can relate to this. Some people are like, yeah, I skated, but like I just kept falling and getting hurt. It's like, yeah, we all did, but like you just didn't want to keep doing it, which I get it, but like seemingly we didn't really have a choice because we enjoyed smacking our fucking head off the ground.
Right.
or whatever. We enjoyed having that clip and then the clip landed it after. But yeah, totally. So as like someone who traveled around and you're talking about always being the new kid or whatever, were you like more reserved, or were you on some like chip on your shoulder shit?
Oh man, well,
I know that's a loaded question. But.
It's kind of a good question, I guess. It's interesting. I guess I look at it like I couldn't have too much of a chip on my shoulder when I show up new somewhere.
But you couldn't be born either.
Right, because I after you get picked on once, you don't want to be food.
Yeah.
Right, so you can sense like
Who are the motherfuckers? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like shit. What was the?
Oh, I don't
'cause
know. I
it-
probably just asked you a question, but that I was hoping you would ask me first, so I could hear how you would answer it. Type no, fine, ish. But so basically, I was just saying, like, did you feel like were you on some like out loud, like chip on your shoulder shit, or were you more just kind of like, yeah, I'm new, like let me like survey the landscape type shit, or
I think I observe a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I observe a lot because I would also see, how it would go bad for kids.
Yeah.
Worse for kids who were new that were trying to be like, look at me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So-
see, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. That's why I fucking had to fight all the time. But luckily I was good at it.
I
but-
think I naturally kind of do
Yeah.
that a bit, and I don't mean to, but yeah.
I feel like just an observation. I feel like you're on some like, and now, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll see you like you're checking everyone. You're supporting, you're watching whatever, but you're like, now I'm gonna do my thing. You know?
Well, there's definitely like the mentality that when I moved here, I didn't know what kind of hip hop was going to be going on, but I knew if there was any mics being ripped, I wanted to do some of that ripping.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So it's like I had no idea what kind of level of skill was going to be here. So you got to understand how pumped I was to see you, Humble,
Thank you.
SK, Kanga, Mav,
Yeah.
catching all these dudes like early, you know what I mean? And like, oh shit, real hip hop, you know what I mean? Like this is fucking. I want y'all to hear what I do too.
Yeah.
And I have moments where it's like tough too because, like you asked me how many albums. I've gone deep into this, and sometimes I want to share that without being like, yo, check my shit though. But it's like, I'm hyped for what y'all are doing. So I want to be like, oh man, you're going to love this too. But it's also like, I want to share what I'm doing so that when I am speaking to y'all about anything, that it's coming from a place where that I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I don't try and talk down to anybody.
Yep.
I try to talk to people like we're all on the same level, even if I can sense there may be more experience in things.
Yep. No, that's. I think that's a great approach, and but at the same time, sometimes you gotta just let motherfuckers know.
You do.
Sometimes
you do.
Sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, but you little kids need to stop fucking doing lip syncing over your beats and like.
I agree.
And like just whatever like, and even if you don't say it, sometimes you say it by doing lead by example type shit,
Exactly.
But also sometimes you gotta fucking let someone know, like, no, you're fucking blowing it.
yeah.
Now you don't have to go out of your way, but like I have a line on this new song. It's like, in my younger years when they wanted in my way, I ridiculed the little fools for calling it a day. Maybe now more mature or get softer with age, because I say please and thanks before I kick them off the stage. You know what I mean? Like on some just like, I'm going out of my way to tell you that you're blowing it, but like if you're fucking up and you're like trying to rock when we trying to do something official, like.
Mm-hmm. Let me help bring you up to where we are.
Yeah, or just fucking let you know that you're just not as dope.
Yeah.
And that's all about how they conduct themselves too, you feel me? And I don't know, tough love, I think sometimes, it's like, I'm gonna fucking shoot you to show you that, like, but like at the same time, like, I think getting fucked with to an extent, and like there's different levels, encouragement is almost just as good as being discouraged. And they're both valuable, is what
Absolutely.
I'm getting at. You know what I mean?
They hold about the same weight.
Yep. And you'll see that the people who like, look at like Funky Diabetic, like shout out Jordan, like,
Right.
He's like newer on the scene, but like he's grinding, he's doing his thing, but he's like, he listens to his elders. He like knows kind of like where his place is, and he's like will not be denied, but he also doesn't act like he invented the fucking wheel. And so
Right.
like, don't sleep on him. Like he's probably gonna be fucking better than all of us type shit.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
can you
Like,
imagine if you were that active at his age?
I mean, and that cute too.
And dude,
Respectful.
how far he's how much he's got it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Handsome,
as far as
charismatic. Yeah, you're the fucking man, straight up. Like,
peace.
don't be taking all of our fucking jobs, though, fam. No, but exactly. That's the whole jam. It's like there is an approach where like you don't have to be a bitch and be like, excuse me, guys, can I? But like at the same time, you get in and then observe. Do your thing,
Yeah.
observe. And like that's how you're able to excel, I believe. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I wish I knew that younger. You know what I mean? Fucking
But all those hard lessons,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, also, like when you don't know
Yeah.
and you fuck up, then you find out.
Yep, absolutely. Got a few scars to attest to that whole theory. So yeah, you just to skip around because that's what we do here. You brought some of your.
I brought gifts. I brought gifts for you and Shaun Machia, man.
What do we got here?
I know you guys already have Royal Water. Thank you very much. And
Oh, the album.
yes, you
Yeah.
have the album Royal Water.
Okay, which is that most recent?
That's my most recent full album.
Okay.
That's produced by Hobbs Stay Busy. And
That's a dope name.
yeah, Hobbs is the man. Sick graffiti artist, fucking dope MC, and
Oh yeah.
master beat maker.
And
you know?
where does he live at?
He is in Winnipeg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, he's in Winnipeg, eh? So basically, I got some. These are some shirts here.
Oh hell yeah.
This one is guts, cow pushing a butcher
That's
through
fire.
a meat grinder, also known as the Mutilator shirt. My first album was called Mutilator, so that's
fire.
that's the Mutilator joint.
And obviously you drew this.
Yeah, that's a drawing I did, a pen drawing.
Hell yeah. Can you get focus on that? You got it? Hell yeah. That's fucking sweet.
So that's your
I'm
jam.
gonna claim that one. Fuck yeah. Thank you so much.
And then this shirt is Mutilator 2. This is an insignia from an album that I did called Mutilator 2 with my homie Will Taubin. And this was supposed to be like a yin and yang type of thing, like a panther and a swan. I have a song called Swan in a Tar Pit, and it's like that thing there people have said is a weasel. I don't know. It's supposed to be a panther that is biting a swan, making a yin and yang.
I feel that. That's dope.
And then,
That's for Mr. Machia, yeah?
yeah, man, Shaun's shirt there.
Hell yeah.
These are some slaps. These are for my last EP, Smoke Charcuterie, with my homie Yokes on the beat.
That's fire.
Yokes, my homie from Brooklyn. He's out in Utah now. And
And those are pieces that
this is in Vermont. I painted that on a barn that I've got that I'm trying to convert into a studio.
got focus on that? Hell yeah. That's dope.
And then this was just some
Your
graffiti I
characters
did.
are fucking sick.
Thank you, bro.
I mean, all of it, but yeah.
So to go with that is the Smoke Charcuterie CD.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this is just an EP of like 6 joints he and I had in the chamber, man. Yokes and I
love that.
always make stuff.
I love how just like, like, you know, when you're kids, like, get the CD, oh, look at the artwork, like, all that. So that's fucking dope, dude.
Thanks, man.
You know, pay attention, kids. Or not even kids, just in general, people, like, make it dope.
Make it dope.
Yeah.
You know, like for
Put the
me,
time into it.
handling the visuals is a big deal. One of the things that got me into metal as a kid was all the album art. I don't even know if I really would have loved the music if I didn't like the art so much.
Yeah.
But then you see how the visuals match the music. So I always wanted to just make ill shit to match my flows, you know?
This is dope. Yeah, man, and it's like, just take some fucking effort to, like, making the whole project that you're doing, like, complete. Like, have the dope art, you know? Like, just make it complete. You're not done
Make
just
complete.
because you wrote the rap.
Exactly. The more love you put into it, the more it's going to give you back.
Yeah, also, it's like, that's something you want to display or, like, have show, you know, not just, like, some little thing, you know, some fucking CD that has a cutout of some bullshit, whatever.
This is another, this is an EP I put out last year with my homie Beataho. And
Beataho?
Beataho, yeah. Beataho did all the production. And
Yeah, I mean,
this one's
sometimes
called
you just gotta...
Cremation Diamonds is this one.
Sick.
That's 5 songs on there. That was like, there's a dude, he and I have been working together for a long time. We just kind of, I finished my end on recording a new project with him, Hobbs Stay Busy, and Yokes on the beats. So
Okay.
Yokes produced Smoke Charcuterie and several other projects of mine. Beataho produced Cremation Diamonds and several other projects of mine. And then Hobbs did Royal Water.
Yeah, let's pull that one out. I mean, people have something back on. So this is what's been in my whip. That's the only CD that's been in my whip. and I've been bumping this shit
Nice.
like
This stuff.
all the freaking time. All the freaking time. Oh hell yeah, that shit's fire as hell.
Good luck, man.
That's sick. Where can people collect, check out, purchase, support all your stuff?
You can get pretty much most of my gear and physical albums at boxguts.bandcamp.com, and I have a boxguts.com. I'm just working on trying to get the gear linked to the site, so I was just tinkering a little bit with some extra
or
stuff.
like hit you on like Instagram with a message at just what is it, Boxguts?
Yep, at Boxguts.
And fucking support, yeah. You know what I mean?
Word.
Still, you will not be disappointed. It will be well spent. You know what I mean? And girls love box guts and shit too. That's what I'm saying. Like if y'all in a little rut, put on some box gut gear. You know what I mean? Throw a little box guts up in the CD player. If you're driving Uber, throw that on there. You never know. She might change where she's headed. That type of thing. You know what I mean? I mean, his name is Box Guts. It's no coincidence. You feel me? So that's what's up. Yeah, this is gonna take a while.
This might take a while.
Yeah, but that's what we're here for.
And then this was the first official CD I put out. This is Mutilator. So I wanted y'all to have a copy of the first thing that I released out into the world. There.
What year was that?
Let's see. I think we might have put it out in 2008 or 2009. We recorded it from 2006 to I think maybe 2008.
Okay, so that's your like official rookie card.
Yup. This is all produced by my homie Will Taubin. He and I have done several projects after that as well, and
sick.
I'm just like. I'm proud that was my first album. I had another album I'd recorded before, and it got stolen, like the whole master files and all this, and it was a blessing in disguise.
I can relate. I had like a whole album recorded when I was like 19, and I won't get into it, but let's just say at the time I was bummed, but
right?
Fuck it.
Yeah. You move on.
I mean,
if it
like,
don't stop you, it gives you another coat of armor.
Yeah, and also it's like, if you haven't grown since, you know what I mean, like
exactly,
it's dope to have the chapters, if you will, but like I know that shit.
Yeah,
it's right here.
Word.
Some of it was okay. Yeah, so this man has 57 freaking albums.
Let me make a table spread.
Yeah. Let's make a table.
So these are just the other parts of the gifts here.
I'm gonna rip a quick piss and get a refill here and give you one while you get organized here.
Good luck.
So basically, y'all on a field trip right here. What you're doing is you're taking a walk through the Museum of Box Guts.
Yes, sir.
Admission free. Admission free. Although you should fucking check it out.
Diggity pounds out of my mind. It ain't nothing. Figure it out how I can make anything I say it.
Basically, there's just no excuse for slacking. Whether you're talking music or whatever, you know, it doesn't always have to be about putting out projects. Like everyone should do how they want to do. But like, if you're slacking, and trust me, take it from a fucking slacker. Like, just level up. Also, right quick, before we get into this ridiculous collection here, I just want to give a shout out to the homie Rico James.
Word up.
That's the man. Look forward to building on some tracks with him. I wanted to cop a shirt, and this dude sent me a box with like 5 tees, a sweatshirt, a tape, a CD, just out of the love, straight up. So you a real one, Rico James.
That's dope.
I see you. You know what? We gotta drink to that. Also, shout out my mom. Top 3 out of all your kids, I know it. 3rd, but yeah, it's cool. She never makes me feel that way. I just know it. But all right, let's get into this Box Guts collection here.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right. What do we got?
So let's see. A lot of this starts with the group Box Red, and it's short for Boxer Rebellion. This is the first thing we put out, and it's just kind of like a mix of our songs that we'd been recording, some freestyles and stuff. We put this out, 2004. So these were a bunch of songs we'd recorded in a 4-year span.
Oh, 20 years ago? What up, OG?
And there was one single that got released in Japan on this called Seta Minotaur. And the guy who produced it is a homie named Malix, and he went by the Bronze Elephant. And he was part of a crew called Golden Monkeys in New York, and they were tied to some other producers, like shout out Shell Shock, that, you know, we just started to kind of like link and do music over it was a short period of time with Shell Shock, but Malix and I kind of stayed building and have even done a track within the last few years. But so from Boxer Rebellion, which is a crew with my homies Bert Diesel, Hawk One, and Red Ox, who also goes by Adox, I moved then from Florida up to New York and started releasing. I had a series of mixtapes, and basically I would just put 15 songs on each one. I have 3 volumes, and I was like hand drawing on the CDs,
Sick.
printing on stickers, and just having these to throw around.
Yeah,
like
just
I
get
would,
it out, right?
yeah, like maybe selling a little after a while, after I was already selling other stuff. But those were mostly kind of like my giveaways.
Yep.
And then I put out Mutilator with Will Taubin as my first official album drop, and we had like a gang of music we recorded around that time. So we had a second album called Spare Parts, which was stuff from the same time period as Mutilator, and then a few songs that we recorded afterwards.
Yep.
And
Just like, we still got jams and like,
Yeah.
let's keep it moving, but maybe they just didn't belong in that. So like,
exactly.
yeah,
And this was pretty thick. Like, I think, we have 17 songs on there. So it was kind of like, okay, let's space out some of these ones. And some of them did have similar sounds to them. And we didn't want to like repeat the same shit at all.
You're biting yourself, that's okay.
Right. This homie and I, Seb Rocks, he produced the album for me. We just worked on this together for a while, around the same time as Mutilator.
I like that art a lot.
This was on a skate deck too.
Okay,
I'll
sick.
show you the skate deck sometime. I got it in the crib, but this was another one. I think we just, I just would draw on the CDs like little birds or whatever. This is called Shatterproof. And this was like a promo version that Seb Rocks printed up, and he would just slang these at shows or probably give a lot of them away.
Yeah.
A homie that I still currently work with quite a bit, Low Deck. Low Deck and I we were neighbors since like 2004. And
This is in
Brooklyn,
Okay.
and just chilled every day. He was freestyling all the time. We make a ton of music together. So our first kind of like project together was called Freestyle Cologne, and it's like, we just recorded it like smashing bottles, getting twisted, turn on the mic, don't worry about the sound quality. And then we got
just some raw shit.
Just some raw shit, But there were a few more refined songs that had better recording quality and had been done at other places. But the majority of it was just in homie's basement, like
No, I fuck with that.
on
I fuck with that.
a computer that's constantly crashing type of shit. And then we got together years later. About 2 years ago, we dropped this Freestyle Cologne Low Day Guts, and Low Day Guts is much better recording quality. We got like 15 songs on here, and then we did a couple tracks after, ones with Rockness Monster got on a remix for this joint called Wild Ways.
So is a lot of that kind of like you freestyle and then you pick like the gems and sort of refine, or what?
So with this one, we wrote these songs on Freestyle Cologne. It was just our vibe was because we were always getting up and freestyling, and then the songs would kind of come about that way.
Yep.
We're not like spending too much time on the surgical shit. You know?
I actually just recently wrote some shit that I freestyle wrote, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Basically, for those of you who don't understand, I'm not saying I wrote it and then called it a freestyle. No.
Right.
I just didn't read back. I didn't edit anything back. I just literally, as fast as I was thinking it, just really wrote it, and then like, just that's what it was.
Yeah.
Type shit,
I
So,
like doing
mean,
tracks like that.
You could essentially say everything's freestyle, but like if you preconceived it and you're kicking it, that's not a freestyle, okay?
Right.
That's a New York freestyle.
New York radio freestyle.
Yeah, feel me?
Yeah.
Which like that's cool too. But like,
But don't get it twisted. New York freestyles is not like that, man. I freestyle with some of the best of them.
Not to say that,
and
not to say that there aren't beasts off the top
Yeah.
in New York City.
But that
some
radio
people are like
shit.
almost as good as me in New York for sure. There are some people that are like close.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But
You know the game.
I get what you mean. Yeah, they made that. I mean, hey.
But yeah, real quick, just to refresh, and then we'll get back in this. Freestyle is improv. You're making it up as you go along. That's
Nothing preconceived.
Period. End of story.
You might have some
throw,
crutch shit.
You might throw some crutch.
Yeah, you
feel
might
me?
have
like,
some crutch shit.
And if you don't, like, holy shit, that's incredible. But like,
Yeah.
but it's hard to break certain cycles. Sometimes you just can't think of what rhymes with orange.
You
know?
twisted. You might be a little too
Yeah.
far gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Like if I run talk tough with Boxguts a handful of times already, it's like, I don't apologize.
Yeah, I keep getting lucky with Mav Star and Trav Card being in the same vicinity when we're freestyling. You know,
Backyard, don't act hard. You know what I mean? That bar. That
Word
bar.
up.
That bar. All right, and yeah, back to the main event.
So, yeah, Deck and I then put out this maxi single called "His Bad Nanny." I did the cover art for that. This is an oil painting, and "Bad Nanny" was a song from our first EP. We have a Will Taubman version and a Blockhead version, and
Like
then
blockhead.
yeah,
Oh, sick.
Block is connected to me through Deck. Deck
Okay.
worked with Block quite a
Okay,
bit.
so I think I've actually met him.
Yeah, you-
way back, just like Ace Rock, that whole fucking
Word.
network.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if y'all remember me, but I'm better now. No, Blockhead's a beast. dude.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
straight up. So he's sorry.
So yeah, he has a couple beats on this first Freestyle Cologne, and we brought something back. I think maybe we have 2 Blockhead beats on this one. And
Yo, what up, fam? Get at us.
And,
We about to lace a track. We need a beat. Let's go.
the homie DJ Red Rock, who is a homie for a long time in Brooklyn. Awesome producer, great guy. Also the dude who linked us with Sadat X and so we got this joint called Sea of Buildings, just Low Deck and I and Sutter House Swish and Sadat X.
Fuck yeah.
That's all.
Weatherman, no
Through-
fix type shit.
You know?
Right? I fuck with all that Brooklyn shit.
And so then this is Johnny 23 No Scope. This is my crew.
Okay.
And that's Low Deck, Jack Progresso. There's a group called Bloody Monk Consortium, which is a producer named Luga Lex, MCs Leroy Destroy, and rest in peace the homie Label S. And then my bros, so if I didn't mention before, there's C-Plex and Mike 220. And then we got producers Will Taubman, Ebenezer, and the Golden Gods. A couple of them mentioned on here are not on here, but all the MCs from our crew are on this. And it's just crazy because this crew is around before even I joined. I joined after they'd been developed
So that's
for years.
that's special shit though. Like when you get together with the homies and like, that's
Yeah.
those are the memories as well as like, not to say you're not always enjoying the process, but like those are the times you fucking remember creating that shit.
Absolutely.
And I just want to kind of run this theory back to y'all for anyone, whatever, aspiring or not. You know me, I fucking ramble. Or if you don't, I fucking ramble. Notice how he's talking about so many collabs. You know what I mean? Like, and this is with this homie. This is with this squad. This is with that.
Yeah.
You're not able, I don't care who the fuck you are, you're not able to make all this shit happen without making connections, put yourself out there, networking, building,
yeah,
some
I couldn't have
fucking
done none of this all by myself.
well,
No way.
I mean, you could have done some shit, but you couldn't have done all of it,
Right.
And, I mean, that's why you're fucking here, why I'm here, why Mason's here. It's like, because we all like, hey, what up? I'm Travis. I'm Shaun. Like, what are you into? Here we go, building. So,
Yeah.
For as much as we all want to make sure that, like, motherfuckers know not to fuck with us. I owe the swear jar so many dollars for today, but, you gotta just reach out, be a nice person, and just network. That's when a lot of the beauty comes.
Absolutely. I mean, probably the rest of this is just going to be me saying who I worked with.
I want to hear about every single one of them. And if you don't, sorry about you, because guess what? You're not on the show.
Well, there's a homie that I've been working with for a long time, C-Plex, that I met through Low Deck. And we put out a mixtape of a gang of stuff, and then we put out an album called Fresh Duckfish.
I fuck with the parental advisory. Because, like, it just makes it cooler. You know what I mean?
Right?
It's just like, ooh.
So fresh duckfish. I lived in a Chinatown in Brooklyn, and that was just something we would see on the side of the street all the time. It'd be like a bucket with these things called duckfish.
Did you
They
eat
say
them?
fresh duckfish. I'd never caught them because
Yeah,
they
look
look
disgusting.
They're like lampreys.
Yeah,
you know what I
they
mean?
look disgusting. I feel like my dad would probably eat that shit, but like I'm all set. I'm all set. I'd rather just have like duck.
Yeah,
Just like
duck.
or like a lot of other things, pretty much.
We would grab
But
these.
I'm looking forward to fuck with the album.
Yeah. And Plex and I have been working still. He's got a ton of crazy work too. He's a producer, MC, and DJ. And we got maybe like 6 or 7 unreleased joints. This is NC-17. This is a group called Kane and Hash. That's me and my homie Mike 220. And another dude, we've been working together for years. I can't wait to get him out here specifically because of freestyling.
Fuck yeah.
This is one of the illest dudes I've ever freestyled with in my life.
That's
That
what's
cat
up.
can just go.
That's what's
I
up.
mean, and his written game is as strong as his freestyles, but people have accused this man of writing his freestyles all the time, and I just laugh because I'm like, man, I know how
but fam, guess what? We just too nice. That's what
this happens. This happens. If you're on your
too
ish,
nice. If you're on your ish, you want to drop bombs quick, you come around, I mean, they give your mom a hit on the hip. That's kind of like the pager. Yo, this is amazing. I ain't running for mayor, but if I was, I'd be a rhyme slayer. Not to be confused with a rhyme sayer. That's from Minnesota. Yo, this is that dude. I ain't about to fold you. It's the nicest taste you get in the morning. I'm just warning. That was a free. Please get off my Anyway.
you already know.
I probably wrote that.
Word.
Shit was whack.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Nah, it wasn't whack.
On to the next.
So on to the next.
I'm gonna do better, buddy. I'm gonna do better when you come through town. Don't you?
Oh man, nah, Mike is gonna be stoked to meet you, man. This is
I'll try to behave.
Fossil in the Brothel.
That's a dope name.
Got mushed out with the homie and
Fossil
stayed
in
in
the
the
Brothel.
Poconos while he just banged out beats. Ebenezer on the beats with this one. Ebs is also someone who's been in the game for a long time, man. Wait,
Allegedly, one of my first mushroom trips was at a rainbow gathering in the Poconos.
word?
Yeah, and they're like, put the money in the hat, put the money in the hat. And I'm like, have you guys even sterilized these pots and pans out here in the woods, like, ever? But anyway.
So yeah, we locked in for 13 on these. Ebs had hit me up when he saw a rap night flyer and he said, yo fam, you know Nasty? He's like, damn, he's a legend. I was like, I don't know Nasty. Nah, tell me about him. He was like, man, he's like, I recorded my first demos with him. This is like back like early 90 type shit.
Yeah.
He was like, you know, he won't remember me, but tell him I said, what up?
He probably will.
He did.
Yeah, I was about
Sure
to say,
enough, he
he
did.
probably
He was
will.
like, oh, word. He's like, Ebenezer. Yeah, he remembered him, said he liked the stuff. So I was like, that's dope,
Yeah,
man.
don't confuse Nasty with anything but...
He remembers. I could
got
tell
up
he
there, he
did.
got up there.
Yeah, he got it up
Also
there.
check Nasty and Conflicts episode, because that's a dope one.
Word up. Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, straight up, those are fucking beasts right there.
This one,
I like how colorful they all are too.
Thank you,
like,
man.
You know, like sometimes you gotta go with whatever, but like, it's just dope. It's just, you know.
yeah, try and keep them like,
And you
Wow.
do pretty much all this art, right?
yeah. Yeah, I think almost all of the ones on the table, except for that. I didn't do that freestyle cologne cover, and my wife took that photo.
Honestly, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I felt like that was the one that wasn't like yours.
Yeah.
Like one of these things isn't
I
like the
can't
rest.
remember the name of the guy. I think his name is
Probably
Owen
your dad, right?
something. Yeah. But the homie Low Deck picked out that artist.
No, that's tight. That's tight. I still fuck with it. It just, you know, it's the one that they all look very different, but that one's like different.
Yeah, definitely on the aesthetics, like totally different style.
It's all like real psychedelic.
Yeah, I like to get in the trippy mode for the
Yeah.
covers. You know, give you something you can like keep looking at.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
see something different each time.
That's dope. That reminds me of Transplant. Some of his drawings. I don't know if you've ever seen
I
them.
have.
They're so multifaceted.
Yeah. I didn't realize, you know, how immersed in art he was until I just seen his work over at Green Doors. So that was really dope.
And to your point, because he's not someone from earlier, he's not someone that's gonna be like, and I did that. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that. Yeah, you find out about it later.
I
And you
mean,
go, oh,
Plant
dang.
is so ridiculously talented, and that's my dude.
Most definitely.
Shout out Transplant.
Shout out Transplant.
Yeah.
So where are we at now? We got Tripping Down Melody Lane. Oh yeah, this one, this is Mirage from the Gondola. I did that with MC and producer from Toronto, and he rhymed on one of the tracks but produced it. And then this one, also an MC and producer. Yo, this dude is my homie Scatterbrain. We just did a track. That's why I was up till 5 in the morning last night.
Right.
We've been working on an album with both of us rhyming, but this one he just produced for me. And so how we linked, he had moved to the Bronx from San Diego, and someone put us onto each other's music, like on some Facebook stuff. Like, yo, check this guy out. Check this guy out. So he moved to the Bronx and hit me up. And I was like, oh, I already been up on this dude's stuff. Okay. He said, yo, fam, I moved out here. You should come check me out. Let's link. So I was like, no doubt. I'm thinking we're going to rap. I started bringing, some beats and get some notebooks out and stuff. And he was like, yeah. So he starts putting on beats. I was like, you made these? He was like, yeah, I produced too. I was like, what? And then he told me his other production name, and it turned out he made beats.
He got
stuff like
he got pseudonyms on pseudonyms.
So yeah, he had.
That's like
I was already familiar with his production. Okay. I just didn't know it was him. So Infinity Gauntlet was his other production name.
When you're so nasty that like you just gotta have another name for some of these shit.
I mean, this dude had produced for NMS, and like I was just like, damn, I thought we were just gonna rap. So he produced a whole album for me.
That's fine.
And man,
yo, tell all these talented motherfuckers that I'm skinny because I'm hungry.
Word up.
Let's go.
That's what's up. Absolutely, man.
Not props to SK and Scott Splitter and Nasty and Haste Holiday and Justin Jelinas and everybody else who've been throwing me beats, but also like.
And that's what I want to do is bring you into what I'm doing too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, shout out to the homie Scatterbrain. Here's another one.
Is this like a series of any sort? Or?
So this one actually kind of would go with this.
Okay.
And this is another project produced by Will Taubman. Okay. This is Mutilator 2. I dropped that the day my son was born.
Ooh.
I just hit go from the hospital. I hadn't slept in days. But this was the first project I recorded in Vermont.
Shout out to your son.
Yeah, man. Strobe, baby.
Yeah, big up.
The homie Jack Progresso and we worked a lot together, man. He produced 2 whole albums for me, too. Also amazing MC. And he rhymes on a bit of these. And, like, this album, how I would do these, when I dropped them, I wanted to make them so collectors that I would go heavy. Each album I sold, I individually hand painted on.
Sick.
You know what I mean? And I would go to this extent on pretty much all of them. I would go a little farther if you bought more of my stuff. You know what I mean? But I was
yeah, they're all one of one.
Yeah, one of a kind. Each one of a kind.
That's dope. That's the original. What the fuck's that blockchain?
Oh yeah.
What's that fucking scam where you
NFTs.
buy the original NFT.
Yeah, and this is what I feel it should be, man. Tangible stuff. But then again, what do I know? This could all melt. It could melt in the fire.
I mean, at least nobody's fucking paying like 10 G's for a picture of a cutout donkey fucking sitting on a merry-go-round or some bullshit. I don't know.
And just to have it on your phone, you don't even have it on your wall.
Yeah, you played yourself.
So I got this crazy mixtape series, but before I get into that, I just want to bring this one up because this is something else I got brewing a volume 2 on, which is Box Monks, and that's me and the group Bloody Monk Consortium. Again, that's Lou Relax on the beats, Label S, rest in peace, and Leroy Destroy. So for Box Monks 2, this was like our first collab album, and we made tapes of it and everything, man. I think I got one of those tapes right here.
I fuck with the tapes hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tapes are blue. They're all I hand lettered each one.
I mean, which one do you think's still going to be playing, like down, like
right?
Yeah, the longevity of tapes. Like, for sure.
And Label S, the homie, man, while we were working on the second one, it wasn't even supposed to be a Box Monks 2, but he and I were working on a project and he passed away.
Okay.
And he passed away, I had just been texting with him like hours before he passed away type of thing. And
well, bless his soul, you gotta fucking just keep it moving for him and all the homies,
Most definitely.
No longer physically here, but never forgotten.
Word up. So
salute,
we took
salute
Label S.
Yeah, all the homies, bless
all the homies. Word up. And
I like to go like this, sorry to interrupt. Like I think about like Stan Mayberry, the homie, whatever. I like to go, you fucks. I just ran away.
You fucks.
Yeah, it's like, it's a little bit Tourette's, a little bit like whatever. What the fuck are they gonna do about it? Right. Anyway, back to what.
So yeah, I guess from there we can pop up to this row, man, which is basically like, I don't have to get into each one of these, but this is a mixtape series I do called Hot Breath Boy, which is 20. Each volume is 23 original tracks. There's been some that were like a hot industry beat and just kind of do our own mixtape style thing over it. But yeah, man, they're basically albums, but they're 23 songs long. I did that because obviously the crew, Johnny 23, and they were my gift, you know. I was often making them free downloads, but you could cop the actual CD, and also each CD is one of a kind. I would draw on each one.
I don't know, man. I think I'd rather just buy like 4 PBRs at the bar and like wake up feeling shitty tomorrow and have nothing.
And when I see that, you know what I mean? I'm like, it costs so little to re-experience this over and over.
Something. They actually, and not just have 3 of the drink and or whatever. Like, whatever. Spend your money how you want, but fuck out of here.
So I'm up to, I've released 8 volumes. This was the last one. Beat a Hoe produced this whole Hot Breath Boy, and each one of these.
It's because he's a hoe for beats, not that he actually hits prostitute.
Right.
I don't know, whatever. If he does,
Beat
it's
a
a thing. Who cares?
You know?
That's a
I don't know him to be someone who beats hoes, but you know.
That's a sweet name, though, regardless.
Word, you know?
Yeah.
Some people get a little, like, right off rip when I tell them, I did this project with Beat a Hoe.
If they're offended, they're supposed to be.
And I'm like, you ain't listening to my shit.
If they're offended, they're supposed to be.
I don't talk about beating hoes or any type of women or anything like that.
Unsubscribe now. Yeah, we don't beat women, but we like to play around with certain things. And like,
don't be offended too easy.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, the sober kids in India.
People now like to get offended so much too. They're looking down to jump down the throats or whatever, but it's because they can do it from behind their logo.
Well, imagine if we actually tried to offend you.
Right.
Much love to all.
Especially if I'm not being creative.
Yeah, much love to everyone out there is cool, and like, you know, to the rest of you softies, I don't know. Wish you the best, I guess.
Word. Toughen up.
Yeah.
I thought you said his name is Be the Hoe.
Be the Hoe.
Be the Hoe.
Well, when I first heard it, I thought it was like it's native sounding.
Yeah.
You know, and he's from Quebec.
Well,
you know?
also, like, when you're single, if you're feeling it, like, maybe be the hoe, and then, like, you know, get into something good, like, maybe...
Caress a hoe later.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or, like, you know...
Treat a hoe.
Or even just, like, cuddle a wifey, or, you know, whatever. Like, see, I have feelings. All right, let's keep it moving.
All right, so...
But I'm not soft.
From Hot Breath Boy series. Okay, and I got a volume 9 brewing.
This is like that.
Thank you. This one is an album I did produced by Blunted Sultan, who ran a record company crew kind of thing called King Corso Records. He produced all this. He raps too. We made a rap album, but I basically I linked with this guy pretty early. He was showing a lot of love for my stuff, and I helped him develop his label a bit. You know,
Nice.
I helped provide them with quite a bit of artwork and soundboarding stuff back and forth. And I'm not saying anything to take credit for anything any one of them have done, but I contributed a lot.
You're part of the experience. You guys built together.
And Dude and I haven't been in communication for a while, but we did make quite a bit of stuff, and he also introduced me to a lot of people that I currently make music with. So shout out to Blunted Sultan. Here is an album with both of us rapping on it. It's fucking crazy. This is called Canopic Jars. This is a mixtape I was giving out with this Salt for Slugs album that he produced. This is called Ape Shit Anthill. And Ape Shit Anthill is me and some of my homies on some of the tracks over all the producers on King Corso Records.
Okay.
There's not a lot of MCs on King Corso Records, but there were a lot of producers from all around the world. So he also helped me build my international fan base.
That's like opposite of how it often is, right? Like
Yeah.
normally you just
Mad
got like
MCs,
so many
like-
MCs, and then
yeah.
you got like the one homies. Or
This
whatever
dude
his
is
name
smart, man.
Yeah.
He's smart. It's a shame that he and I are not in contact because we hit it off well, but for whatever reasons, things go the way they go.
I feel like a lot of producers are more like hibernation mode type or whatever. Like, you know, there are a ton of talented people out there that are just like, they're just not like, they don't put themselves out. You know, they're not at as many of the shows, generally speaking, you feel me? But like,
they don't feel the need to network and that,
yeah,
and they like to
or
be
even
behind
they're
the
just
scenes.
like, they're just at home making another thing instead of, you know.
I admire that though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Stay in. Don't
Hey,
spend your bill unless you're spending it on us.
I mean,
I'm just playing.
to each their own. To each their own, right? It's like, especially in this community, like, you want people to come to your events. Most of them are people who are doing events that are gonna come anyway. So, like, if you're showing face and supporting, you know, like, why would you expect all these people that are in the mix to come support your shit if you're not supporting them? You know.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
So it's this, you know. It's like, yes,
Balance.
stay creating, but also like, you know, if you want to build, you got to build.
Like if you go to a show and you're rocking and you want the MCs that are rocking to watch you, watch them too.
Correct.
Especially if they're coming from out of town.
Yeah.
Show a little respect,
Yeah,
man.
'cause-
There's been
'cause
some
they
times
there.
where cats just all walked out and I was the only one watching somebody who was from out of town. And I stay there because dude's spitting and nobody else is listening. And I'm happy I get to hear him.
Also, if you're sitting there at like a smaller venue, something, and like someone's pouring out something that is well thought out that they've put in their stuff into, and you're just yapping, like, make sure it's something that you need to be talking about right now. You feel me? Like, you're just sitting here talking about how, like, oh my God, you can't remember where you put your fucking lipstick. It's kind of like, whatever. I don't think I need to go. I don't think I need to go any further with that. But
There's
it's
an
just
outdoors
like,
for that.
you know what I mean? Like, just, I guess what I'm trying to get at, and without being on some like, do this, do that, it's like, think about if you put a bunch of time into something you're passionate about, and like, here's your chance to showcase it, and you've been planning, and you promoted, you put out the flyers, you put in, you know, we're not talking a little quick, oh, now all of a sudden, like whatever you might be saying, so like, I don't know, just keep that in mind. We're not saying like, don't fucking speak when you're at a show, like, by all means, but like, you know what I mean? Think about what the fuck's happening here.
True.
Don't be that fucking donkey that needs to talk about some bumba clout while like the homie who's literally like put work in to make this moment happen. Like, it doesn't always have to be your moment.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up
Good
sometimes.
point. Good point.
I mean, me too. I'm not like, I'm sometimes guilty of the same.
I mean, I don't think any human can be completely guilt-free of that because alcohol comes into the situation when you're out, you're in the zone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have a moment where the person who's performing loses you
Yeah.
too. Well, sometimes you
But-
gotta piss and you
but-
break it up. You catch somebody who's walking, they want to all of a sudden.
Facts, but even still, it's like, catch yourself, you know, like, if you really want to get into a conversation, like, you know,
Take it somewhere else
just
after.
move back,
Yeah.
or like, you know, keep on the hush or whatever, you know, just, I shouldn't have to say this stuff, but I felt the need, so. You know,
Yeah, I feel you, man.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'll be yapping on my performance. You're going to hear about it, like, straight up.
Word, man.
Straight up. I'm going to clown you.
It should be happening, you know, so people that feel weird to be. Teach them how to act.
Yeah, or
You
else,
know?
why the fuck are you there? Like,
Exactly.
I don't know, like, go to the back, whatever, go outside, talk about it after, or like.
And more than
or
likely,
no
you
one
paid
did-
to get in there.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
feel me? Yeah, and like,
know what you paid for.
just fucking use your fucking head type shit, you know?
Yeah.
Damn, I owe the swear jar so many cheddars. All right, we're gonna keep this
I thought
moving
you too.
because I still have a lot of stuff to add.
Awesome.
to-
Okay,
to
well,
get at you about.
at least
but-
we're towards the back end of
no,
this
no,
pile
I'm
here.
loving all this. Straight up, yeah.
So the dude who produced this project is a producer from Portugal named Il Bruto. And Il Bruto, I met him through Blunted Sultan, and Il Bruto produced 2 projects for me.
How
This
are you
was the-
linking? How are you? Oh, you said you met him through the homie.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, like, is this on some like you're recording your verses on your own, sending it? He's sending the beat, you're recording it, and then he's going through and like doing the mixing, mastering type process. Or
Yeah, for international collabs, you know, if there's no way to get in the same room, and even for some of these across state ones and stuff, just try and get as clean of a recording as possible and
Yeah.
keep it consistent to
Yeah.
make it so it can be worthy of being on a project.
Totally. The homie Scope, I played that song for you earlier. You know, he lives on the West Coast, and I'm out here. And we like came up with the concept, and then we both wrote a 16, and then we like met in Vegas and like kind of expanded the concept and recorded our shit separate. Obviously, ideally, you're gonna be like right up in the mix with the people
Right.
when you're creating, but you don't have 57 albums always in the same room with all these people. This is not possible. You know what I mean? This is not fucking possible. But yeah, and it's all dope. It's all dope. You know what I mean? Like collab with someone from fucking Portugal.
Hell
like
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
you can't always just jump on whatever and fly over.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, there's like, so throughout this series, homies from South Africa. I've worked with quite a few Canadian producers. Got some dudes from all over Europe, really.
Yeah. And that's a whole different flavor too. So
Oh yeah. And a lot of places I've found have really captured the sound of their favorite time of music. So when people do things here now and it's like being lyrical or whatever that people want to say, then they're like you're boom bap, or whatever, and it's like everything doesn't really got to get lumped into that.
Yeah, that's true.
But I understand why things are
just like
classified.
harnessing and like just feeding off of what you fuck with, like naturally, of course.
Yeah.
As long as you're not just a carbon copy on some like
Trying to replicate something that's already been done.
Just pay homage. No,
Yeah.
No, you didn't invent the wheel, and fucking spice it up too.
Yeah,
It's like, if
exactly.
you're just the same as some other motherfucker, well, what are you doing?
Someone's style is not a genre.
Correct.
You know?
And if you don't have your own style, it's okay. But like,
You probably won't go very far, or you will find it from going.
just find it because it limits only you. That's the thing. It's like you're literally only playing yourself when you try to put yourself in this, just this idea that this is what I want to be. It's like, okay, cool, but fuck with a bunch of different ideas,
Exactly.
I
Maybe
mean,
try different music.
Yeah, and and know that it's not, nothing has to be final. Like you can just dabble and you're gonna surprise yourself, as well as you're gonna be like, well, that wasn't it. Like we're trying to sing sometimes. I'm like, oh my god.
A lot of, I don't know why it's popped into my head right now, but when making albums, a lot of times people will say your first one is the illest because you don't know anything yet about making an album. It would be different in your case because you're at a seasoned age with what you do.
Yeah, the rookie card's probably also the magnum opus, but
you're not gonna get away with that. But you might in an article. You know what I mean?
Oh god, I have no interest to write a fucking article. I don't want that shit. Anyway, on to your shit.
Rookie draft card. Anyways.
Yeah, I like that. I honestly, that's what I hope it is. No, matter of fact, please just don't write a fucking article about it. Like I don't want that at all. Talk about fish or some shit. Anyway,
Right.
On to the next.
So next we got, this is the first project Bedaho and I did, Apocalyptic Hunger, and first I put it out in this like super rare version with a DVD.
Oh, sick.
And so there's the music CD, and then the DVD has, I think, 5 music videos. Maybe I uploaded like 2 or 3 of them online, but try to keep a lot of them exclusive. And they're, once I think we only made like 20 of these. Once those sold out, we did another version that's just like a double DVD kit.
That's
DVD
sick. I'm
case.
trying to cop that for sure.
And then Beat just kept, he and I just kept working, so we made 3 EPs called STD Free Androidaho. And then we made a Super Androidaho, which was our best of.
Still STD free?
But it's still STD free. And I would only make 50 copies of each one and like
Sick.
hand do them,
That's dope.
And then, so when we talk about like freestyle albums, I did 2 albums that are, a lot of it is just off the top, like stream of conscious, straight freestyle, and then some is I developed this kind of, and this is by no means original. I just hadn't done this before, but I find that I've talked to so many MCs who do the same thing. You record a few lines,
Pick out the jams, kind
record
of
a few lines. Record it. You're building it, but you're not writing it.
Yeah.
But it's a quick way, if you're in the zone, to lay some shit down. So
yeah, and also because if you get too stuck in the writing and perfecting, it's easy to lose like the fire and the initial like spark of where you're going with it, as opposed to just like letting it go.
You're in the moment.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why honestly I feel like some of my best freestyles like are as good, if not better, than some of my even written shit.
And plus, they're gonna capture that raw energy in you. That written is just a different type of energy.
Being like less critical, and I have a propensity to like over analyze, over scrutinize, you know, whereas like some of the frees it's just like you're just going. You're just letting it go. You know?
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's just trash too. So like you'll have that.
That's the beautiful thing about freestyles. I am you know, I'll never say I'm on point as ill as I want to be every time.
No.
Nah, you're gonna have some times where you're gonna fumble. You're gonna have times where it might take you a little while to get to where you want. You're gonna have times where you're not going at all.
When we rocked over at happened to me when we rocked at Drake the other night, and I was like kicked one free or something, and then I was like, one of y'all was rapping, and I was like, no, fuck that. Like I was like, I need to lick this thing again right quick. You know, like I'm like that can't be it. Felt like I went in quite a bit harder the next round, but
it's dope because I didn't even notice. You know, I'm just hearing you say that. I'm like, I didn't catch that. I thought you were just smashing it the whole time.
I appreciate that, but like, you know, you're gonna be, you know when you're not, you know your own shit. So it's like, even if like whatever. I mean, I've been doing this shit for 28 years, like you. So it's like obviously it's not gonna be fucking garbage, but like
you got too much steam behind it.
But you know
already.
you know what you're after, and you know, if it's mediocre, you're like, let me touch that.
It ain't right.
Quick.
Yeah.
It's probably not even my turn to jump back on again yet, but like I'm jumping on it. You know, type shit.
Yeah, I had just sent
I need vindication.
Yeah, right.
Straight up.
So these are those Guapman Guapman and Mr. Gonzilio, my kind of freestyle fun projects. There's a little bit of writing in there, some song development. Well, definitely a lot of song development. Like, don't get me wrong, even the off the top is conscious of the whole game plan with this.
Like
the
a
theme.
Yeah,
it's two characters that are arch nemesis.
Okay.
And one is like a cat that he thinks he's mad. He thinks he's mad rich, but he ain't. Kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Like on some hood rich shit.
Yeah, Guapman is the hood rich.
Got his advance, bought a watch and a car, and still fucking can't pay rent next month type shit. Eating ramen.
iPad for a celly is one of the, you know, he's just like on some, he thinks he's futuristic balling, but he finds all of his.
That's like when I won $600 the other night on a pull ticket, and then just like bought everyone everything, went home with like a hundo. But it's like, whatever, fuck it.
That's how to ball out though, right?
Yeah, 600, like not 600's a lot, but like
that'll pay rent for quite a few folk.
Or like just one pretty fun night, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. I do not encourage thinking pull tickets are a smart investment. Just so want to go on record and say that. Like, expect to lose. Anyway, back to something that matters.
So, Beat and I, after this, that was when we did that Hot Breath Boy Volume 8. And then after I recorded Royal Water with Hobbs, Beat got at me with 5 beats and we did Cremation Diamonds. And then he said, yo, why don't me, you, and Hobbs make a project, like a quick EP? I do 3 beats, he does 3 beats. And then you just spit on everything and spaz, and that'll be a good way for them two producers to link. Because he really liked what Hobbs was doing. So I was like, okay, dope, Hobbs likes what you're doing. And he's like, yo, put your man Yokes on there too. So I just finished recording this. I'm just sending a few of the joints out for some features, but Beat a Hoe, Hobbs Stay Busy, and my homie Yokes. So I'm gonna show you some of these albums Yokes and I got.
That's the All Stars, right?
Yeah, those are the homies that we got a new project going, and this is a rare release that Yokes and I put out called Assault and Battery, which is like some of his remixes of stuff I've done, freestyle, straight off the head stuff to some of his beats, and then some songs that we had in the chamber. This is another album he produced called Blunt Force Trauma, and this is just 10 crazy tracks we recorded in Brooklyn with a grip of the homies, and this was a re-released version we had sold out of, and then we did this one like 28 copies. We got a couple more of those left, and then he produced Smoke Charcuterie, and also a project I don't have on the table. He's one of the main members of this crew called Brooklyn Assassins Guild that I was part of, that is currently myself, Mike 220, C-Plex, Yokes, and a dude called Him Downstairs. They're all Brooklynite cats that just took me in, and they're like, you're Brooklyn as fuck, you know what I mean? And I've been doing my thing with them, and I really had a dope New York experience for someone who wasn't from there. But being, you know, I was there for hip hop.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? For
and
art.
and you have this open-mindedness and ability to be like, hey, what up? Like, let's get on something, like, and like not sleeping on shit too. Where it's
Word.
like, yo,
If you connect with me, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, like, let's make pop.
that's like this is
we're making a track today.
Show and prove.
We're making a track today.
yeah,
Let's go.
exactly.
That's what's up.
So there are a few things that aren't on the
A
table,
few, he
but
says.
let you
Well,
know.
I gotta just give you your flowers, not just because of this, but just you as a man. You feel me? Like,
Thank you,
straight
brother.
up. No, I really appreciate your drive. It's inspiring. You're fucking creative, you know, and I think we share the sentiment that's like, that's what matters. It's like,
yeah.
just be authentic. Not
If you're
everyone's gonna
authentic-
fuck with your shit, and that's fine. You don't need everyone
Exactly.
to like you. Just like be authentic.
And
That's
the people that
dopest.
you might want to appeal to, they're not gonna like you no matter what you do. So don't go trying to win them over.
When they
Win
get-
you over.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And as far as it goes, as far as what you want to talk about, I think as long as you are being creative and you're coming from the right place, say what you want to say. Because people are always going to tell you, man, it ain't about that. You doing this to the culture, business, blah, blah, blah. They're not trying to put their ears on and really hear where you're coming from because they see something that they don't like, which is basically a motherfucker getting busy and
Yeah.
disrupting the current that the wave they're trying to make the ripple
Well,
in.
making them feel like they need to step their game up, and
Yeah.
the best way to like not address that is by trying to cut someone else down. You know,
Mm-hmm.
at least half of these raps receive recommendations to ease back. I'm almost certain, like straight up, like I'm almost certain of it. You know,
Oh, yeah, man.
And,
Definitely. I'm a cactus, don't hug me.
you feel me? Like,
Yeah.
or just like wear something like, you know,
Get the armor if you're coming close, man. I got a buzzsaw sticking out of my chest plate.
type thing.
Yeah.
Yo, so maybe, I don't know, how do you feel about maybe kicking just a quick little acapella verse off of like something, just for the homies at home? Because right now they're just looking at a bunch of fucking dope art.
Right?
You got
Yeah,
something
man.
off the rip? You
Yeah,
wanna kick
sure.
for them? We're gonna look right over here.
Been on a mission since a kid spinning on cardboard. Hardcore, every listener's ear is a dartboard. All for, but the wicked get with it where they hit it. Finna leave your whole shit splitted. Hop up in the tsunami if you're trying to get twisted. Boxing spitted Amazon waters full of piranhas and insects. Sounds foul. How to make a crocodile smile. Chuck 'em chum on the regular, get it ready to chow down. I walk, talk, sleep, eat, and breathe. Rap, knock your teeth back. Guts, lungs pump like my tongue's punching a speed bag. Freeze tag, these hands put 'em on ice. Time to get it with the scripts, man. I've been sick before nice. Price payers who like tears, I slice layers. Cybernetic device full of knives, clipping dice players. And sight fears and nightmares. Now I bet y'all didn't like that shit right there.
That's the shit I do like.
You know?
That's the shit I do like. Well, shit, we're definitely gonna have to have you on for another episode. Cause fuck, we just like scratching the surface. We be talking about projects, but this man's prolific. I think this is a good time. I know you shout out all these peoples, but maybe even outside of like music or whatever, it's anybody that you feel, and you're gonna forget people. Everyone fucking does. You want to get at something?
I just say shout out to my wife and my kid because I give so many shout outs to people involved with helping me and people that I work with that I'm trying to big up. And you already know how much I love y'all. And I know my wife and kid know how much I love them, but I don't get to tell them on platforms like this. And man, my wife makes it possible so that I can be out here doing this stuff because she's the real deal and she loves me, man. And I love her like nothing. I love her so tremendously, man. And I'm happy to say that, you know. And we did an amazing thing, brought a child into this world. I love him more than anything. And I thank them so much for allowing me to give so much of my time to this creative endeavor to share with everybody. And it just makes me want to give them more of my time. So
That's real. I have nothing really more to add except for if you got a joint bubbling, get money now, because in a minute there could be some real trouble coming out. This has been a one-of-a-kind guest, Boxguts. We about to go make some music.
word
We
up.
out.
Peace.
My G.